Fishing is added to many games these days, and is especially common in JRPG and projects from independent developers. But not so many releases are dedicated only to fishing. It's rare to find a game where you spend time with a fishing rod in your hands more often than doing everything else. Now we have Moonglow Bay. Despite the road edges, a very enjoyable simulation of the life of a fisherman. The character we choose, there is no full-fledged editor, once lived with his significant other on Moonglow Bay. Together they wanted to rescue the fishing business, which would make the region more attractive to tourists and improve the lives of the locals. But the partner disappears 3 years ago, and from now on, turning the bay into a tourist destination becomes our task. The protagonist only knows how to fish, and he doesn't know how to do anything else. Fortunately, the locals are happy to help. They will teach him how to cook, provide him with a vending machine, and give him equipment along with various fishing rods. In return, they ask to perform their task, to cook an exotic dish or bring a food dish. Along the way, the character unravels the main mystery of the bay and the surrounding ocean. Are there really scarce creatures? And what really happened to this or her beloved? The result is a simple, unpretentious adventure in the spirit of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing. It even has its own equivalent to the Blizzard's Museum. As soon as you catch a fish you would never seen before, you can take it to the curator. He will put the specimen in the aquarium and at the same time add the description of the creature in your journal. This and a brief description, and the habitat, and the type of fish, it depends on it, which bait should preferably be chosen before casting a rod. The process of fishing itself is elementary. You throw a hook, wait a couple of seconds until it starts to bite, and pull the line in different directions. These are subtitles like different baits and several types of rods, thanks to which in the same place you can get a different catch, but the gameplay is not affected. The control scheme does not change, so that at any moment you can fish and not think about anything. The desire to get a fishing rod arises and when you run past the quest, passing by the pier, and when you are about to some ice flows. With cooking is a little more complicated. Each dish is created by recipe. First you choose it from the large list and then follow the instruction on the screen. All the actions are accompanied by a simple minigame. To watch the fish, you need to hold the stick in the green area on a special scale. To cut it, you need to press the button in time. You have to cook often because this is the main source of income, and over time you get tired of the minigames. They do not change in any way. But the money can be made by other means. For example, simply by selling the caught fish. The rarer the spaceman you offer the deal, the more he will pay. In the center of the bay there is a board with the residents' requests. They either want fish or food, and some just want to talk and tell you about an unusual creature. There are enough strange representatives of fauna here, for example a fish that looks like a bag of coins. The main adventure of Moonglow Bay is that it does not rush the player and does not force him to do anything. Numerous inhabitants of the day dream of some dish. They can wait indefinitely. There is no need to hurry. Tasks appear on the bulletin board. If you don't have time to complete them, new ones will become available the next day. The character at some point begins to fall asleep, but the gameplay is not affected. He runs as fast. Just in the corner of the screen appears the corresponding icon. When you want, there you can sleep. Hunger here and stamina here, fortunately it's no. You can't even eat your own food. The process of reviewing a business is fascinating, even though there's nothing special or original about the game. You save money and improve your vending machine. Checking out what food is trending today, for certain dishes you sometimes get more money than usual, improved buildings that have fallen into disrepair over the past few years, new merchants appear, and there is an opportunity to buy recipes that have not yet been explored. And among them are just the ones you need for cooking quest dishes. Each time happy new fish, because it can be taken to the museum. As a result, while you run from the location to another and catch fish, time flies by infinities. It's a shame from a technical point of view the game has problems. I'm used to leaving the game on end of a long time, but here it is not worth to do. If the controller is turned off, then when you return none of the buttons will not work. You will only be able to turn the game off, and since there are no autosaves, you will lose all the progress you earned. The same happens when using Quick Resume. There are other bugs. The map does not open, the character gets stuck between objects, and once the game did not want to start at all. If you save from time to time, the raw edges will not be very annoying, but patches are definitely needed. The creators have already announced that they are working on fixes, and the PC version especially needs them. There's not even mouse control. Moonglow Bay is a good fishing life simulator. It doesn't stand out and is clumsy in places, but very charming and able to carry you away. You do not notice how you swim for an hour on the water, visiting different areas and trying to catch something new, so you can back to the kitchen and cook for sale. There are many quests, the progress system is implemented great, all sorts of little things like a museum and magazine perfectly complement the gameplay, and touching story leaves a pleasant aftertaste. But I recommend waiting at least a couple of pages. Without them, a quiet fishing life can be overshadowed. Pros of the games is a nice atmosphere, exciting gameplay with a good progression system, great for those who like minigames with fishing, and touching story. And cons is cooking related minigames are annoying, as you have to cook often. Not everyone will like the fact that fishing doesn't change in any way when switching baits and rods, bugs and lack of autosaves, and it can spoil the experience.